Good morning. My name is Monique Gray Smith, and I'm the author of the first book you've been reading in Global Reads Aloud this week. My heart fills with happiness. I want to start by thanking your teacher for being part of Global Reads Aloud and making this an opportunity for all of you to participate and read new books and connect with children in other parts of the world. That's a really amazing opportunity. And to thank also the woman whose idea started this program. Her name is Pernille Rip. And it makes me think a lot about that sometimes we get ideas, and a simple idea, if we follow through on it, can impact the world, can impact other people in ways that we might not have ever thought about. And you know, my heart fills with happiness was inspired one day. I was doing a workshop for the parents and the grandparents and the staff of an Aboriginal Head Start, which is a cultural preschool in our country in Canada. And when we broke for lunch to take our break, the children joined us. And there was a cookum, who in my language means grandma. She was sitting in her chair. And when her grandson came running into the room, he stopped in front of her and she took his face in her hands. And she looked at him with so much love. And what I saw was his whole body change. It was like all that love that she looked at him with filled his heart with happiness. And it got me to think about what fills my heart with happiness. And after that day ended, I had to drive for a little while, and then I caught the ferry home, which took an hour and a half. And I thought a lot on that ferry ride about what fills my heart with happiness. And it was about time with my children, time with my partner, time with my mom, with my dad, with my sister, with our cat, time outside in the forest. I live very close to the forest and by the ocean, making bannock for my children. All these little things that sometimes we take for granted in everyday life are actually the things, when we pay attention to them, that fill our hearts with happiness. And so I just kept thinking about that, and about a couple weeks later, I was in a meeting and the ideas started to come, and I wrote them down really fast. And this whole book was written in about 20 minutes, if that long actually. And that day when I wrote them all down, not a single word was changed. So what I wrote that down that day is actually what you read in this book, My Heart Fills with Happiness. And this cover might look a little bit different than what you have. This is a new edition of My Heart Fills with Happiness. It isn't a hard one like what you've got. It can bend. And I'm really grateful to the people who publish this book, who create this book. They're called Orca Book Publishing, and they have translated this book into Plains Cree, into the language that my ancestors have spoken for years. So now in this book, you'll see that you can see both the English and the Cree. One of the things that has filled my heart with happiness the most about this book was the opportunity to work with the illustrator, Julie Flett. As you went through this book, you probably saw some of her most incredible illustrations. She is, I think, in Canada especially, the matriarch of Indigenous illustrators, which means sort of like the grandmother and the one that we look up to for being a leader. So I hope that you have enjoyed your week, your first week in Global Reads Aloud. You've got more weeks ahead, such exciting times to explore books and to fall in love with reading and with books. And thank you again for participating in this program. And as you head into the weekend, may your weekend be full of time with people and things and activities that fill your heart with happiness.